Hello and welcome back to the Runaway American UK edition. This is actually a suggestion by one of my amazing viewers, he was like, check out Jonathan Pye, I believe hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But I searched him up. There was lots of videos by him, obviously, but this one was a extremely interesting one to me, which was President Trump, how and why. And I believe in the description he was saying something about like who he blames. I would imagine it's the American people, but let's give it a go and see. I'm very curious to see his thoughts on the matter. Here we go. I like his, like, this is I believe this was Obama, like the hope thing that Obama, but that's a great one. I like that already. Makes it great already.
Morning. What? No, I only just fucking got here. No, I only just fucking got here.
Demonetized, 100%.
Morning, Tim. Morning. Howdy. How was Washington? Great. Fucking sweet. Yep. What? I'm not shocked at all, Tim. Tim, I haven't even been into makeup yet, Tim. I'm not shocked at all. I've been saying this for fucking months. Nearly a year. The moment you think he can't do it is the moment he takes the White House. Of course Trump fucking won. What is everyone so fucking shocked about? Jesus, the media, the political elite, the pollsters, the markets, a jaw on the floor. How can everyone be so fucking stupid? Hillary Clinton. What were the Democrats thinking? Hillary Clinton. Don't get me wrong, I wanted Hillary to win. I'd personally vote for Lucifer over Donald Trump. Trump, the pussy-grabbing, wall-building, climate change-denying, health-care abolishing, tax-dodging, shit-spewing demagogue. How shit have you got to be to lose to that? Where was Sanders? Why wasn't he on the ticket?
Should have been Sanders.
I have no doubt in my mind that Sanders would have beaten Trump hands down.
Absolutely.
But instead, they chose Clinton, a candidate who's been cozying up to the banks and dry-humping corporations for years, who is on record telling her corporate friends that you should have a public and a private persona. In other words, don't tell the truth to the plebs or you won't be able to rip them off. She'll do. That was the feeling. What did they think was going to happen? People keep saying to me, how did this happen? They're dumbfounded, but it's so simple. The left did this. This is my fault, people like me. When are we going to learn? The left have given up putting any argument across at all, to the point where Clinton is considered left, liberal. On many issues, Theresa May is less right-wing than Clinton. That's just a fucking fact. And yet my friends are on Facebook saying, I'm with her. I'm fucking not. Oh, but she's better than Trump. Sorry, that's not good enough.
Agreed.
Clearly.
Agreed.
Clearly it's not good enough. And if I see, fuck me, one more tweet containing a hashtag Trump wins next to a hashtag everyday sexism, I'm going to drop a fucking bollock. Not everyone that voted for Trump is a sexist or a racist. Some of them are, but most aren't. Most people didn't vote for her, not because she's a woman. They didn't vote for her because she offered no palpable change whatsoever. Same old shit. Trump represents a change, a terrifying change, but a change nonetheless. Hillary represented, well, she represented very little, actually, because she protects corporate interests, because she doesn't call the police when questions from the debate are leaked to her in advance. I noticed we barely reported that. Not everyone that voted for Trump is a sexist or a racist. How many times does the vote not have to go our way before we realise that our argument isn't won by hurling labels and insults? Tory majority, government, Brexit, Trump. What next? When?
I would love to hear his like current thoughts, because obviously this was during Trump's very first election and there's been two since then. I'd love to hear, is everyone who voted for Trump now considered a racist and a sexist? Because the first time, I'm just going to put it out there, the first time both of my parents voted for Trump, I was in law school at the time in Brooklyn. 100% we were all shocked because we were in New York. So like we were in the bubble that was like, there's no way you could win. That's ridiculous. All of my law professors were shocked. We had a day of mourning. Everyone, when my parents told me they voted for him, I was like, don't speak to me again. We went for like a good week or two without speaking to each other. I was quite perturbed. I went to the protests to Trump, like the Trump Tower, to protest with all of my friends from law school, because again, that's what you do when you're 20, like 22, 23 years old. You're like, we'll just go protest. Yes. Like, let them hear our voice, because that mattered. Yeah, we were definitely Sanders fans. Like, none of us liked Hillary Clinton. Did we think like, oh, it's cool, like maybe we'll have a female president? yeah, that was kind of cool in our minds, but we were all much more Sanders fans, especially given like the fact that we were in law school at the time and we were more, I would say, more liberal leaning, especially given the fact that we were in New York as well. Now, I preface this to say, like, anyone who is UK, like, you understand our politics a lot more than I understand yours. Yes. The one thing I will say in regards to this is when I say I'm liberal or left leaning, it is not the same as your left lean. Like, that is why, like, Sanders is conservative in terms of even like UK voters. Clinton is like right in terms of like European and UK. Trump is basically like Kim Jong-un level of right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like you can't really base your system of like left versus right or whatever system, whatever political party that you associate with like liberal versus conservative to ours, because our liberal is like, oh guys, like can we please just like give people healthcare and maybe like give women paid time off for having a baby? You guys already have that. So like, that's like, this is our liberal, and like your liberal, I don't really know. I'm not really sure what they're saying, like what they're asking for, like what the Liberal Party wants. Ours is literally just like maybe paid vacation, maybe paid time maternity leave, maybe paying workers' rights and having like a fair minimum wage. Those are like our liberal ideas. And oh my God, that's like a hot button issue for like, you're so liberal. It's like horrible that I want people to earn like a decent income that is a livable wage, and that I want people to have paid time off, and that I want mothers to not have to go to like work right away after having their children. Crazy that I want medical care for everyone. Oh, I'm terrible. But in terms of like UK, I don't know what it is. The right in the United States, again, completely different. Currently, like 20 years ago, like you can't go. My mother was a straight up Republican. My father is an independent. He was raised in Massachusetts. He's very, very, very conservative in terms of like socially. He's very socially conservative, and he's much more like when people say like, oh, that's what like a Trump voter or something, like my dad definitely fit the bill of like a first time Trump voter. I was not surprised my dad voted for him. I was horrified my mother would, because my mother is like a very empathetic person. My mother was fiscally conservative, but my mother was in like the top 5% of like wealth in the United States when I was growing up. So it made sense that she was like a Republican because she didn't want to be taxed more. Then she became a teacher, and I'm just like, woman, how are you still a Republican? Like they want to get rid of like teachers unions, and they want to pay you crap and everything. So yeah, like that is very different in terms of Republican versus Democrat. And especially now, because now it's much more of like an infringement on rights, not even like let's not give women the right to do with their own body what they will. Let's reverse the decision on same-sex marriage. Like, let's do let's make women like second-class citizens again. We're heading into a very scary era of Trump. When he was first elected, everyone was kind of like, oh, I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm excited to see what change is made. There wasn't really that much change made the first term. So honestly, there wasn't a ton that was done. It was mostly just like him spouting on about like COVID and like crashing certain economies. You know what I'm saying? Like there was not much went on. This second one, he obviously didn't get voted through because we put in Biden. That was where our mistake was. I'm sorry that we tried to put in another woman, because that was the problem. If we had just kept with like a nice white central man, like I'm sure we would have beaten him again. But we put in Trump again, and now I don't know what has happened. Now we're suddenly like wanting to invade Greenland, and we're kidnapping sovereign states, like elected officials, and we're threatening war with everyone. Like, I don't know what has gone on. We're offending every single person that has ever existed as our ally. We're taxing our own people as well as putting tariffs on countries that had non-reciprocal tariffs. So like whether I don't know what happened, and I'd love to hear his thoughts now on like, just do you still feel the way of like these people that voted for him now are just wanted to change? Because I don't think they did. Maybe the first time, I think both of my parents just were like, well, we know Hillary's crooked. Like, we know the Clintons. Everyone knew the Clintons. So I can kind of understand why they maybe were against it, right? They did not vote for him another time because it was like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, you stupid. So now I would love to hear his thoughts. Like, does he still feel this way about Trump voters? Because I can tell you the first time I was still horrified, but I was like, whatever, like, fine, if you want to do this to yourself, do it. Like, do we trust? Like, was my thing was always like, people were like, businessmen like should run the country. But should a businessman that has failed in almost every business he's ever been in and declared bankruptcy more times than anyone should ever be able to, has never paid his taxes and evades should that be the businessman that we're trying to put in charge of the country? Or should we put an actually successful businessman, not a reality TV star that uses his name as branding? That is like, you would never go to a doctor who wasn't an MD. That's like the thing was like, oh, we like no politicians. It's like, politicians are there for a reason. I studied political science in school and then went into law. I was originally going into politics. Like, I know you'll be like, everyone on here is like, ugh, I hate you. I was originally planning on going into politics more in the scope of being like ambassador type scope, because I liked living abroad and I liked how I liked learning about other countries and being introduced to other people and experiencing other cultures. Like, that was more what I was going into as like an ambassador. I went into the Peace Corps. So in that way, I wasn't going into politics in the way of like senator, like House of Representatives, going on to, I never thought like, I'm going to be president one day. No. Definitely not. I would have wanted to be like Madam Secretary, like Secretary of State. I loved Madam Secretary, in case anyone has seen that show, or The Diplomat is another one I like a lot. That was much more like what I was leaning towards of wanting to become. It obviously did not pan out, but I enjoyed my time studying politics. I love international relations. I love law, and I love the study of it. So I am definitely not a person who is a proponent of having someone who has no idea how political systems work being the president of the United States. Sorry. That was where I was coming from. It wasn't even a voting standpoint of like, I hate him. I hate the way he speaks about women. I hate the way he talks about immigrants, whether or not they're there illegally. Like, it's just terrible. Like, I don't like the way he treats our allies. I don't like the way he treats our enemies. Or not to say that we have enemies necessarily, but I don't like any of it, basically. There's nothing to me that stands out about Donald Trump that I can say I like. Nothing, really, honestly. Hopefully that doesn't lose me any followers. I know some people may like him. I just don't see the point. I don't see how we can like him given the current circumstances of our life, especially like given the fact that the Epstein files are now out. The UK apparently is totally fine with holding people responsible, even ones who are princes or formerly held the title of prince. But we don't want to hold our own government responsible. And as our Attorney General Pam Bondi said, like, well, then everyone would be like taken out. Well, shouldn't that mean something then? If we have to remove every single official in government because they are all part of that, shouldn't that mean something? Shouldn't we be like, wow, we've really screwed up that we've put people in power, that we're literally harming like women and children, like exploiting them? Is that shock? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm just like, one of these things, I don't know how we can still defend ourselves as Americans and allow someone to be in a position of power that is on the Epstein files more times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible and more times than Harry Potter is mentioned in the Harry Potter books. That is unbelievable. That is crazy. I don't accept it. It's ridiculous. I don't know how we can live with ourselves. I don't live in the country. I left the country, and I would encourage most people to do the same, because once you leave, the wool is pulled, like the wool is no longer over your eyes, and you can see how horrible of a place it is turned into. It may have always been somewhat, but it's definitely been amplified, and now I think the whole world knows it. The other thing I'll say too is just the fact that, like, hopefully you guys can agree with me in that. And even if you disagree with me and you do like Trump, please tell me in the comments of why you think he's a fantastic leader, and why someone that is in the Epstein files as many times as he is and has said such horrible things about the UK and UK soldiers and just our allies in general should be the president of a country that was at one time considered the number one nation. Whether or not you ever supported that, it was still technically true that at some point it was the number one, like, worldwide power, or it was a worldwide power. It still holds that, like, title of a worldwide power. It may not be the number one anymore, but still, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I genuinely want to know the answer. I'd love to have a real discussion with you, and I am not biased in any point. If you want to have a real discussion without cursing me out, without getting mad at me, please, let's have it in the comments, because I have absolutely no problem talking about it. My parents are, like I said, they used to be Trump supporters. They are no longer. My dad sometimes is like, oh, I agree with what he's doing, but he's taking it way too far. No. My mom is 100% not, like, 100% against him now. Most of my family, with the exceptions of the ones from Alabama, are against him. So I don't know. Again, love to hear your thoughts, though. Let's continue.
We learned that the key is discussion. If you are unwilling to discuss, then you are creating the conditions in which Donald Trump and people like him can thrive. But instead of persuading people to vote, she just courted celebrity endorsements.
This is true.
And then lost. What's going on? It's almost as if the political acumen of Beyonce and Jay-Z count for nothing. And then she loses it and loses the election, and she locks herself in her hotel because she's too upset, or because it had never occurred to them to even write a concession speech. Either way, grow up. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever. Be a better candidate.
I agree with that.
But thing is, I can't say this to any of my friends, Tim. People like me, I'd get fucking lynched if I said this, because people like me won't listen. I did this. This is my fault. Fucking Donald Trump. The left is responsible for this result, because the left have now decided that any other opinion, any other way of looking at the world is unacceptable. We don't debate anymore because the left won the cultural war. So if you're on the right, you're a freak. You're evil, you're racist, you're stupid, you are a basket of deplorables. How do you think people are going to vote if you talk to them like that? When has anyone ever been persuaded by being insulted or labelled?
That's a great way to
now, if you're
put
on
it.
the right or even against the prevailing view, you are attacked for raising your opinion. That's why people wait until they're in the voting booth. No one's watching anymore. There's no blame or shame or anything, and you can finally say what you really think, and that is a powerful thing. The Tories in charge, Brexit, and now Trump. And all the polls were wrong. All of them. Because when asked, people can't admit what they think. They can't admit what they think. They're not allowed to. The left don't allow them to. We have made people unable to articulate their position for fear of being shut down. They're embarrassed to say it. Every time someone on the left has said, you mustn't say that, they are contributing to this culture.
Okay, that's a great way to put it.
It's time to stop moaning. It's time to stop crying over spilt fucking Brexit. It's time to stop ignoring your opponents, or worse, trying to silence them. It's time to stop banning people from speaking in universities. It's time to stop thinking that reposting an article on your Facebook feed is political engagement, that banning a gymnast from doing what he's good at because he insulted someone's religion somehow achieved something. And sorry, when did the Gymnast Association start thinking it was appropriate to start enforcing blasphemy laws? It's time to realise that reading The Guardian doesn't make you a liberal, that retweeting Greenpeace doesn't lower your carbon footprint. And if my mansplaining is triggering you, you can either fuck off to your safe space, or you can engage and debate me and tell me what I'm getting wrong.
Yes.
Because Trump just won the White House. Being offended doesn't work anymore. Throwing insults doesn't work anymore. The only thing that works is fucking bothering, doing something. And all you have to do is engage in the debate. Talk to people who think differently to you and persuade them of your argument. It's so easy, and the left have lost the art. Stop thinking that everyone who disagrees with you is evil or racist or sexist or stupid, and talk to them. Persuade them otherwise, because if you don't, I'll tell you what you get. You get President Trump.
And they didn't learn their lesson, did
Right,
they?
I need to go for a shit and a shave. How long we got, Tim? All right, I might need to have
What he said, everything he said, and that was absolutely correct. I believe that we have lost the plot a lot in terms of that, in the fact that we no longer debate, we no longer say why our issue, why it matters. We no longer explain to something to someone or break it down to them into terms that they can understand. Instead, and I'm just going to say this, like, Trump breaks down things that to people in a very simple manner. He uses language of that, and this is not me being like, this is like actually me praising him. He uses language that a 5-year-old could understand. My 4-year-old speaks better English than he does, because he uses language that is so simple that the average Joe could understand it, that the below average Joe could understand it. This is not me insulting, like, it's probably me insulting my family, but my mother's side of the family is from Alabama. They are all high school educated. They are that of working class or below even. So they are 100% proponents of Trump. They are not politically engaged in the least. However, they do like what he stands for, which is, well, they are... And I'm not going to say like everyone is racist that supports him. They are. 100% they are. But again, that is like, I don't think they support him for that reason. They support him more because to them, they always vote Republican anyways, but to them, they understand him. They think that he is for the working class. If you try to explain to them, and I think that if you broke it down in a very simplistic term of he is not for the working class, actually you're paying more in taxes as a working class citizen than the billionaires that he is giving tax breaks to, and trickle down economics does not work. It has never worked. However, it has caused multiple recessions in the country. And then explain what a recession is, because I guarantee you the same people that are confused in that would not also understand what a recession was. That is my trouble, is that again, I'm insulting. It's not to insult. It's to say that the issue is we have voters that are so undereducated on the political systems and how our governments run that they literally think tariffs are paid by other countries because Donald Trump has told them so. All they would have to do is look up, how are tariffs paid? And they would realize, I'm paying them. That's weird because he told me. Like, how hard is that? Like, I always am correcting my father because he's always telling me these crazy Facebook ones, because he gets all of his news from Facebook. He's always telling me these crazy stories. And I'm like, did you look that up though? Like, did you make sure that well, no, I saw it on Facebook. Look it up. Like, look up, all you have to do is look up the news article and it will tell you whether or not it's false. It literally says like Facebook run like crazy opinion that is not real. Like, it will 100% tell you, because I'm like, that doesn't sound like something that is plausible. That doesn't sound like something that person would have done, or that doesn't sound like something that is real. It sounds made up. It's as simple as that. But these people take it as confirmation bias. It's confirmation bias. It's just like everyone who watches Fox News is confirmation bias. All they want to do is turn on the television and hear that their opinion is what matters. That is 100% how the right thinks now. I believe the left has come a little bit more to the table. I do think that I think we keep putting up candidates that are far too central. Like, I think that we put candidates up that are far too central, and we also keep putting women up. And I'm sorry, like he said, like, it's not because they don't like women, it's because they don't like women. And all I'm going to say as well is that was just proven by the Olympics with our current Olympic team, like our women's team, who have won every single year, basically, since the sport was introduced into the Olympics. But the men's team got the call from Donald Trump where he made fun of them, and all the men laughed along with it. Nothing wrong with men. I love men. I have a son. I have a father. I love my father. I have 2 brothers. I love my brothers. I love men. What my issue is that saying that the reason these women weren't voted in is not because they're women. It's partially because they're women. Hillary Clinton was because it was Hillary Clinton. But Kamala Harris, it was partially because she was a woman. It was partially because she was a woman. It was partially because she was grating on some people. And it was partially because instead of saying like, hey, this is a person who was a vice president, which again, when Biden was president, name one thing he did. No one could. I'm sure most people didn't even know Biden was president at the time, or vice president at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got in because he was an old white man who was a Democrat that had central opinions. Like, they knew he was going to do basically nothing. He was almost just a figurehead. It was like, sit in the corner, Joe, and eat your pudding. We love you. Thank you so much for coming to our rescue. However, he could not continue to do that, and he knew he would have lost. Kamala, they put in way too late. They put in a woman. They shouldn't have done it. I'm a woman. Would I like to see a woman as president? Absolutely. Do I think that America is ready for a woman president? Absolutely not. Do I think they'll be ready in 10 years? Probably not, because it seems like we're going back 50 years currently. So maybe in another 150, we'll have a woman president. I don't know. All I know is that this video is ridiculously long, and I'm sorry about that. But please have a political engagement with me in the discussions. I am asking you, I am begging you, if you have a differing opinion than me, let's talk about it. I'm not going to come at you. I'm actually wanting to know why you feel that way. Like, let's have a discussion. And like, if I tell you my side of the story and you still are like, that's ridiculous and you're crazy, props to you. You've made up your mind and there's nothing I can do to change it. If you think you can truly change my mind about something, again, leave a comment, because I'm more than open. My mind is always willing to be molded. My mind is always willing to debate and to look at an issue from another perspective. 100%. So please let me know in the comments. Talk to me about why I'm wrong. Talk to me about why I'm right. Let's talk about what you think could change in the US in terms of politics. Because again, I'm not very familiar with UK politics at all. Like, we're not taught anything about UK politics. I know there's a parliament. I know that there's a prime minister. About it. You know what I'm saying? I know there's queen, like the king, who is the monarch, who works separately from the government, but also has the power, I think, to like basically say start over again if he wanted to. Like, he could press the button that says like, we're disbanding the government and we're starting again. I think that's about all I know. So if you want to educate me in the UK or send me a video about the UK so I can find out what the parties are, what the systems are, please do that, because I would be more than interested to learn. I love politics. I love debating politics. I am 100% a person who is always interested in it. I'm always apprised of what's going on in the United States. I'm not as apprised as other countries. I was when I was living in Hungary. I was much more apprised of what was going on in the political systems there. Not there anymore. Now I'm more focused on what's going on in Thailand, but I try and stay out of it because as a foreigner, you're not really supposed to comment on those things, and I have no problem. It's their country. It's their opportunity to do what they want with it. I'm just happy I get to live here. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so sorry that this video has gone on as long as it has. If you're still here, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And please, again, we can have differing opinions and we can still talk with each other. So again, come converse with me in the comments. Bye-bye.